and we'll just let Phil listen to that. Phil, to say you boys have been busy this week will be an understatement, haven't you lot?
Yeah, it's been crazy, 4 engine changes, 2 engine rebuilds, but I think we're on top of it. We just need a bit of luck now, get a finish under our belts and see what happens.
128-ish, well 127.9, I say 128, it's close enough, isn't it? In practice, happy with setup and stuff, apart from the engine issues?
Yeah, bikes are working perfect to be honest, and 127 or 128.3 or whatever it was doesn't show the pace we've got. So, just going to have a go at it now.
Good luck.
Yeah, cheers.
Thanks to Phil Crow, that off at number 19. Yeah, definitely one to watch for. And then that's a busy week, isn't it? I mean, he has all his friends helping him out. 4 engine changes, 2 engine rebuilds. Tom Birchall.
Hi, I thought he left his performance centre at home, but he brought it with him to paddock, hasn't he? Bless him. You know, it's always difficult when you're doing all this work yourself, and we're getting delays, stuff's getting knocked on, and the tension starts to build. But as soon as he gets going down the road, hopefully that'll all go away from him. But the bike looks brilliant, and they put in a great effort, the Crow Performance team. Yeah, spot on, one of the best bikes on the grid.
Certainly is. Just going to jump up here and grab a word if we can with Brian McCormack, the big guy on the big bike, and let's grab a quick word with him on the Roadhouse Macau machine. Brian, good afternoon as it is now.
Yes, isn't it? Pleasant afternoon.
What's it been like so far, TT week? Tough? How's the body?
Yeah, not wonderful. I thought it'd be a little bit better. Struggling with the knee and the ankle and both legs. So, yeah, look, it's no excuse. And this big bike is no excuse. There's loads of room to dance around and have a bit of fun. So it's only the little bikes that look like I'm after crapping out. That's the problem.
I was watching it yesterday going out of the pit stop on the Super Twin, and it's like, how is he getting on that?
Yeah. Oh, mine we were actually quite quick on it, but it's we had a problem with the brake lever. I had to pull over and adjust it 3 times through the race, so it just wasn't ideal. But I'm looking forward to that race again. Actually, the little bike is good, but this is super stock bike, a super stock race, so it's kind of made for me,
Good luck, Brian.
Thank you very much.
It's good.
I'm just here with Timothy Minot, who I absolutely love these leathers. You're so distinctive out there, Timothy. How are you feeling?
Yeah, good feeling. Today, happy. I looking, the weather is good, sunshine. Little bit wind, sorry. Yeah, okay, 3 laps. I think I want to easier to Superbike race 6 lap. Okay, feeling good and exciting.
And in the pit stops, you're going to remember your speed because you had a little bit of an issue in one of the races.
Yeah, I think I'm stupid. I'm stupid. Don't push the button on the pit limiter. But my team is faster and me so faster on the pit. Today I try for better. Je vais dire un petit coucou à tous les Français. Merci de nous soutenir et puis passez une bonne journée. Bon titi à tous. Ciao ciao.
Thank you very much.
Bye bye.
Where's your Manx accent, Beth? Davey Todd walks past us anyway. Won't do any Manx speaking anyway, any Manx Gaelic. Connor Cummins gets himself ready, puts a new Conrod lid on. We'll just quickly speak to Peter Hickman, last year's double winner. Superstock race time.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking forward to it. Superstock bike's been really good to me in the past few years, but the competition's pretty hot right now, isn't it? Which is good. So no, I'm really happy. Can't wait to get going.
Any changes made from the runs you've had since practice? No big shake of the head?
No, so far so good. I was quite happy with it in practice, and yeah, I guess we'll just find out now, won't we?
Good luck.
Cheers, mate.
Thank you, Peter. Good luck there. He's off at number 10. Davey Todd's just arrived on the grid. Michael Dunlop just arrived on the grid as well. The 3-minute board is now up. We're ready to go with the RL360 Superstock race. Josh Brooks has been up here for absolutely ages, just chilling out, just speaking to people. James Hillier, he's all ready. They've already got the lids on, these guys have, and it's kind of an unwritten rule down here. Once they've got the lids on, leave us alone. We want to go into the race, and that's why I always try and get in before the lid goes on. I'm sure John McGuinness has probably got his on with all of his years of experience, and he's just looking. He's just leaning on one of the toolkits there, just looking over the front of the Honda Fireblade. And wasn't it nice the other day for Honda to present him with that the 100 start TT Fireblade that he rode the other year in those colours? Jamie Coward here looking all nice and relaxed too. What are we going to see from him? But I think the pit stops, when they're all going to come in reasonably together, are going to be quite close. Because what have you got in time-wise between Hickman and Todd? You've got 13 seconds there. You got 2 seconds back to Dunlop. You got 10 seconds back to Josh Brooks. You got James Hillier only a couple of seconds back. Then Hillier, Harrison, Coward, Herbertson. They're only separated by 10 or 12 seconds. So at the moment, looking at 16:48.8 for Hickman in qualifying quickest. and 17:47. So a minute later, that was a minute, 17:47.9 is Mikey Evans in 19th position. So pretty tight there. One man we haven't mentioned yet, who's out on his Superstock bike, the Malenko by Paget's Fireblade, is Ian Hutchinson, qualifying in 17th position for the number 4 machine at 17 minutes 44.199, 127.634. So we're going to make our way through the no man's land, get the board, and give you what the board says. This is what the riders see. This is what they will read. And it says damp patches, entry and exit of Braddon. Wet patches at the exit of Glen Helen. Cement dust from the exit of Kurt Michael through to Bishop's Court. 3-lap race, and it is a pit stop after lap number 1. It's that pit stop after lap number 1. Exactly 1 minute to go to the start of the RL360 Superstock race.
And Chris has just run through the times and told you how close it is and how crucial that pit stop could be. We are going for a 12:15 start for the RL360 Superstock TT Race 1. Over 3 laps, 113.19 miles. That compulsory pit stop at the end of lap 1. Your 2023 podium was Peter Hickman, Michael Dunlop and Dean Harrison. The lap record, of course, is the outright lap record for the course in this class. Peter Hickman from 2023 on the BMW, 15 seconds away from dropping the flag for the Morecambe missile, John McGuinness, who's going to get this race underway on the Honda Racing UK machine. Only 3 laps in practice for John McGuinness. He's been concentrating on the big bike. 3, 2, 1, away we go. Good start by John. Next away, Jamie Coward on the KCS racing powered by Stead Plan Group Honda. He was up to 132.696 riding this bike in the Superbike TT. Next away, John McGuinness's teammate Dean Harrison, already podium man this week on the Honda Racing UK machine. 6th fastest in qualifying. Ian Hutchinson will go next on the Malenko by Paget's Motorcycle Honda. And Ian is away. Only 17th fastest in qualifying for him, but next James Hillier on the WTF Racing Honda. And he is 5th fastest in qualifying. Then we'll have Michael Dunlop, the history man at this TT24 already, on his own MD Racing Honda, 3rd fastest in qualifying. Next up, Josh Brooks on the Monster Energy BMW by FHO Racing Machine, 4th fastest for him in qualifying. Or the Australian. Next, Davey Todd. This is the bike he rides in BSB in National Superstock. He leads that 2 races down, 2 races won. What can he do on the TT course today? Away he goes on the BMW, the Milwaukee BMW. Following him, we are looking for Craig Neave. Is Craig coming to the line? It doesn't look like he is. Craig is an additional non-starter. He did have that spill at Griever Castle. So we will move on to the lap record holder, Peter Hickman. He's away on the Monster Energy BMW by FHO Racing, fastest man in qualifying. Next up, he gets a big gap on the road in front of him, obviously with no Neve. Next up, Connor Cummins away on the Malenko by Paget's machine. And then we have no Davo Johnson. All our best wishes to Davo after his spill at the weekend as well. We have no 13, where Lee Johnston would have been. We've got Lee alongside us instead. We've got no 14 because Michael Rutter withdrew his entry. So we will move on next to Rob Hodson. And there's a 40-second gap in the road here between Connor Cummins going and Rob Hodson going on the SMT machine.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what that advantage of that 20-second gap has for Peter Hickman, because he's normally straight on traffic, pretty sharpish. So sometimes that leads you on, but it might benefit him just having a bit of a clearer road, as we see Rob Hodson leave the line right now on his SMT Fireblade.
And behind him is yesterday's podium man Dominic Herbertson. Such an emotional day for him on the Burrows Engineering by RK Racing BMW. A gap behind that at start position 17, that's where Gary Johnson would have been. Sean Anderson will be the next man away on the KH Hire Honda, and he is 18th fastest in qualifying, had a 10th and 11th place finish last year. So Sean Anderson next away. Then we'll get Big Phil Crow away, the Nigel Appleyard Agriwash UK BMW for Phil, 15th in qualifying. Spins her up a little bit, leaving the line. And then Mike Brown comes away. Mike Brown will be next away on that Aprilia, Lee.
Yeah, obviously this is the only Aprilia in the field. Well, apart from in the Super Twin class, but on the bigger classes, both in the Superstock and Superbike class, Mike Brown is the only Aprilia. As We see Nathan Harrison leave the line now on the factory Honda as well. Really good to see him back and have a solid TT so far.
It is Nathan Harrison, yeah, as we say, this is his class effectively. He's riding that super stock in all of the big bike races, so this is his chance really. Paul Jordan away next at start position 22 on the Jackson machine, the first of the Jackson Hondas. Then Mikey Evans from Santon here, he gets away on his Suzuki. Ryan Kringle will follow him as we continue with the Manx riders. So we've got Nathan Harrison, Mikey Evans, Ryan Kringle. Next away, then we'll move on to Brian McCormack, the Irishman on the Roadhouse Macau by FHO Machine. We'll just about have time, I think, to take Julian Trummer away on the other Jackson machine, the Austrian rider, and then it will almost be time to start looking at Glen Helen. We'll maybe take Amalric Blanc away. There goes Trummer. Blanc will next go, the French rider. I think the fastest French rider around the mountain course now on the Team B&M Gaz 58 HML Honda for him. And we do now see John McGuinness arrive at Glen Helen, so he still leads on the road at Glen Helen top at the moment, but we've got to wait for all of these other riders to arrive. At least Michael Dunlop at 6, Davey Todd at 8, Peter Hickman at 10, those guys to come through, and then we will get a formulation of a first leaderboard of this RL360 Superstock TT Race 1. As we wait, we see now that Hillier has already caught Hutchinson at Glen Helen.
Yeah, obviously Hutchie's had a really steady week, just trying to get back into the groove of learning this track, and yeah, unfortunately for James Hillier, he's caught him right at the point where it's going to be a bit of an effort, probably up on the Cronkavody before he gets a chance of passing him.
Yeah, we'll just see Michael Dunlop there over the damp patch at Glen Helen. Sat the bike up, ran it right to the white line on the outside. He didn't seem to lose any pace at all.
He leads. No, Todd now leads. Todd comes through. Dunlop went to the lead. Now Todd comes through and leads. We wait for Hickman to arrive. Then we will get an idea of the leaderboard at Glen Helen. So we've had all sorts of people jumping into the lead. Harrison jumped to the lead. Dunlop jumped to the lead. Todd jumped to the lead. We wait on Hickman. Should be about the next rider to come interview. We see him through what is now Rutter's Glen Helen 1. We see him in. Where does he slot? He slots in 3rd. So Davey Todd leads this race at Glen Helen on lap 1. He is 1.5 seconds up on Michael Dunlop. Then Peter Hickman is 1/10 of a second down on Dunlop. Harrison is 3/10 of a second down on Hickman. Hillier is 1.6 seconds down on Harrison. Jamie Coward in 6th, 1.7 seconds down on Hillier. And then it's 0.8 of a second from Coward back to Brooks. It's 1.3 seconds from Brooks to McGuinness. Connor Cummins slots in 9th. It's very, very close early doors.
This is quick math, but I'm going to say the top 9 are within, say, 3.5 seconds. Is that right? 3.5, 4 seconds. It's very, very close. But the biggest thing from this, I think, is the start from Peter Hickman. This is the best start he's made all week, or definitely the closest to the front guys he has been.
Yeah, he's definitely come out of the blocks today. He needs to do that as well. You know, Davey's super confident. Michael's on the back of his 2 wins already and chasing another one. A little interview with him earlier on, and he said, look, if it feels good, it's having it. So we've got a confident Dunlop again.
We've already seen Davey Todd closing in on Josh Brooks, his man ahead, his 10-second man ahead of him.
Yeah, just to clarify, in case anyone out there thought that Michael wasn't committed or he wasn't going to push in this race, Tom Birchall's just cleared that up straight away for us.
Just in case anybody wondered.
Riders still leaving the line. We're waiting for the guys to get out to Ballaugh as our next sector point. The leading time for Davey Todd out to Glen Helen is, where are we in terms of that? We're about the fastest lap we saw last year for lap 1. We're almost an identical time to lap 1 from last year, a 4:15.7, as John McGuinness still leads on the road at Ballaugh. He is through Ballaugh. Todd is now right with Josh Brooks.
Yeah, he's caught him right in the middle of Kirkmichael Village. Oh, we just shot away from the pass there. It looked like he was going to go up the inside and that's the section where the oil is, Tom, which we were talking about earlier. So hopefully they've both seen that clearly on the road.
Yeah, it's going to be in Davey's mind, isn't it? Unless he's just thrown caution to the wind and gone, I've got to get through. We need to wait for a shot really now. He's stuck behind him, so he will be losing time, probably into Bishop's Court now. But he's got to go. He's got to go because Hickman's on a charge.
And the trouble here, obviously, is Josh Brooks has been on the fastest bike all week. He's been fastest through the speed traps, and normally if Davey was coming up behind somebody else on that BMW, he'd be fit to pretty much get a good slipstream and ride past, but not the case with Josh Brooks.
How much does it matter, or how much of a benefit is it that this is the bike he's passed now? He's passed Brooks, so he's cleared Brooks' day. How much of a difference does it make that this is the bike he rides
Brooks
every
is
week?
Go back.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Davis stayed in
tried to have
front
a bit of a
over
go back,
Balaf.
but Todd has stayed ahead over the Balaf jump. So we'll wait for Hickman to arrive. But yeah, in terms of being comfortable on the bike, just jumping straight on it, this is the bike he rides every week.
Yeah, and yeah, he's made a bit of a point of saying that. And listen, he was no slouch on the Superbike at the Northwest 200. We've seen him run Glen Irwin right to the wire in both races. So I spoke earlier a little bit about the electronics and stuff. These two bikes are very, very similar in that team. Obviously, there's some chassis changes, but the electronics and the feel, so the throttle pickup, all them things will feel exactly the same.
It's half a second at Balaf. Todd's lead is down to half a second after losing a little bit of time behind Josh Brooks. Todd leads by half a second from new second place man Peter Hickman, who is coming. Hickman has overhauled Dunlop at Balaf lap 1 for that second place. Dunlop is then 1.9 seconds back on Hickman. Dean Harrison sits in 4th, only 1/10 of a second down on Dunlop. James Hillier, this is really close at the front. This is what we wanted to see.
Yeah, we can't forget Hickman's form on a Superstock bike. He took his first ever win, TT win in 2018 on a Superstock bike, and he's won the last 5.
The big thing to factor in here, all these guys, or the top 3 guys, have all caught at least 1, if not maybe 2 riders to this point on the first lap. So it'll probably take to the end of this lap to things settle down, and then we know actual pace, because obviously we've seen Davey has lost a little bit of time there, but that's due to him catching Josh Brooks, and we don't know if Dean Harrison has caught Jamie Coward at this point, and Hickman's probably the only one that had that 20-second gap. So yeah, he had the clear road to go at straight away.
It'll take time to sort out the end of lap 1, but then they're coming straight into the pits.
And that's where the mayhem started in the first Superbike race. So yeah, we're in for a cracker here, and we can see obviously John McGuinness, Jamie Coward, and Dean Harrison all coming into Ramsey Hairpin right now.
Speed trap through Sulby. Josh Brooks on the Superstock machine, 198.134 miles per hour. Michael Dunlop on the Honda, 197.087. Dean Harrison, 196.165. Peter Hickman, 195.422. So Brooks has had that speed all week and continues to be the case.
And that's over 3 different classes. That's Superbike, Supersport and Superstock. So do you think that's Brooks's body position? Do you think he's sat on the back of the seat, or...?
Yeah, he looks, the aero system looks amazing on the BMW, but just, if anybody out there wants to just randomly go and do 200 mile an hour, all you have to do is pop down to your local dealer and you can buy a Superstock bike. That is absolutely amazing that you can do this on something. You can walk into a shop nowadays, and as long as you've got a bike license, you can take it out of there and ride it home.
We just saw Todd over the top of Milltown Bridge, and he was really pushing. Absolutely, the whole bike just shook as he came off the exit.
I don't know if he got a little bit of crosswind or something, but yeah, it got a little bit crossed up. And Tom, no, you have to commit straight away there. As the second you land, you're obviously committed to the corner, so you've got no time to let the bike settle.
No, you have absolutely wheels on the ground, bang, you've got to go in, and you've got to brush that wall on the inside to get the line. I mean, the speeds that these boys are carrying, doing jumps, doing wheelies, and then poof, turn it straight in, because otherwise you're in trouble.
It's still half a second at Ramsey Hairpin. Todd leads by half a second from Hickman. It hasn't changed at all on the run between Balaf and Ramsey. Todd leads Hickman by half a second. Harrison is now ahead of Dunlop for 3rd. Harrison overhauls Dunlop and slots in to 3rd place, 3.1 seconds down on Hickman as they start the climb of the mountain. Michael Dunlop is then 2/100ths of a second behind Harrison. Hillier is 6.7 seconds back on Dunlop. Then Jamie Coward is 1 second back on Hillier, and it's 1.5 seconds from Coward back to Brooks in 7th.
Yeah, we've seen Brooks has got his teeth into the back of Davy Todd here. I don't know if we can get this helicopter shot just to zoom out a little bit. They're just on up under the run over the mountain now, and Josh had done a really good job to hang on to the back of Davy on the run through into Ramsey.
I mean, it's taking some hanging on to, isn't it, Davy? We've seen 2 really big moments, or on the run to Balaf, the bike was moving just as he got through on Brooks, and then what we just saw at Milltown, he's having a go today, isn't he?
Yeah, the other thing we spoke about earlier is Pete was probably 13, 14 seconds quicker than anyone else in qualifying, so he's got that feeling of setting in the bike, and when these guys are now going to Peter's pace, the Davies bike is not obviously, they're going to want to make a setup change for going to them speeds, so that's the only lack of knowledge possibly with him and the team being new together. And
so they're in unknown territory.
Yeah, exactly.
Situation.
And like we said, for the Supersport race later on, Davies probably got the most to gain because he went a lot quicker in the first race, and they've got all that data, as they will have after this race as well.
Just looking at some of the later starters at the lap, Dominic Herbertson was holding 9th. He's through Ramsey in 10th. Mike Brown on the Aprilia is in the top 10 as well. We await for his arrival at Ramsey. He was holding on to 10th at Balaf. As we're seeing Todd, I think it is, go past Ian Hutchinson on the run out through towards the Mountain Mile, I think, by the looks of it. We see, oh, there's a freight train here. There's the two Hondas, McGuinness, Harrison, Coward, Bam Bam Man, line astern at Bungalow.
Brilliant that, you know, 3 different styles of riders, all at very different stages in their careers. But interesting that, you know, Harrison will have been held up a little bit there, and it was on a charge, so whether he's going to be able to use the slipstream there up Aylward's Rise as they come over the Bungalow.
He probably needs to clear them both very quickly, doesn't he, really?
Yeah, and he needs to crack on with his own race.
And hopefully just carry on and not lose too much time.
We await then the arrival of Davy Todd, our race leader, and second place man Peter Hickman at the Bungalow to get the next time check. Harrison, Dunlop, Hillier, Coward and McGuinness all through. Todd arrives now, so it's Hickman we're waiting on next, and then we will have our top 3. Harrison has held on to that, what will be 3rd place over Dunlop, provided that Hickman arrives there safely, which should be in the next year. He is. We see him arrive now, actually, through nice, stylish, very neat and tidy. Let's see what that does to the leaderboard. Oh my word, it's 800ths of a second. Hickman has slashed the deficit to Todd, 8/100ths of a second. Hickman on that climb of the mountain every single lap.
And that's with him passing both James Hillier and Josh Brooks, I believe, as well. So yeah, he's not lost any time on getting through them 2 riders. So he should have a little bit of gap on the road now, because the next person he'll probably come up behind is Ian Hutchison, I believe. He's obviously got past number 5, which is Hillier. So yeah, really, really strong run up over the mountain there for Peter Hickman.
Both Hickman and Davy Todd are on a 1:33.5 pace from a standing start here. So Todd leads by just 8/100ths of a second from Hickman. Harrison is then 4.3 seconds back on Hickman in 3rd. Dunlop is only 1/4 of a second back on Harrison in 4th. James Hillier is 7.8 seconds down on Dunlop in 5th. Jamie Coward is 2 seconds down on Hillier in 6th. And it's only 1.8 seconds between Coward and Brooks in 7th. So close all the way down the leaderboard. Then Connor Cummins is 6.7 off Josh Brooks as we get Dean Harrison and Jamie Coward at Crocknamona and John McGuinness.
Yeah, and obviously the guys have got all the information now of the damp patches where the oil spill was, and obviously credit to the whole team out there. They've done a really good job clearing that up. The guys are all through safely now and ready to head on to their next lap round. And I believe the lap time, obviously we've got the pit stop at the end of this lap, but we're going to see definitely a mid 1:34, possibly even a 35 for the push on the 3rd lap, because we've got this group of 3 riders pushing everybody along.
Absolutely. We've got between the front 4, we've got 4 3/4 seconds amongst the front 4.
Yeah, so we don't know what's going to happen here with Peter on as he comes on to what will be the last lap after the pit stop, another lap, and then the last lap. Is he going to have to push? Are we going to see a lap record go? Because conditions are good. They know the course now, like Lee said, and the pace is hotting up.
Crucial pit stop action, Chris Kinley.
Certainly is. There's Dean Harrison first in with fellow Yorkshireman Jamie Coward just in behind him, and then we've got number 1 John McGuinness, and there we go, 3-2-1 as fast as that across the line. But let's go back to Crocknamona. The lead is half a second. It's 0.487 at Crocknamona between Todd and Hickman, who in turn has 4.2 back to Harrison, and just over 3/4 of a second back to Michael Dunlop in 4th, and James Hillier provisionally in 5th at Crocknamona. There's Jamie Coward in there as well, and Josh Brooks. So all it is a splash and dash for these guys. 1-2, you hear it go. Here's Michael Dunlop down to 4th at the moment. And there we go, John McGuinness, good pit stop. Dean Harrison, a good pit stop as well. But there's James Hillier. Close between the 2 Hondas coming in, between Jamie Coward and James Hillier. But here's your race leader, Davy Todd at the moment. Davy Todd is in, and he leads as he comes in. But Michael Dunlop has snatched back second into the grandstand. Michael Dunlop back up to 2nd place. He's 5.5 back off Todd. Here comes Josh Brooks, the teammate of course, Peter Hickman, and here's number 4, Ian Hutchinson, in as well on the Malenko by Padgett's bike. But we're waiting now. Davy Todd is in. We'll give you the pit stop times. Here's Hickman across the line, and the gap 1.722. Is Davy Todd going to have problems firing today? No. The Milwaukee bike absolutely fires him, and he's away. You hear that rattle of it, and away he goes for Hickman. So as they came in to the grandstand for the pit stop, Davy Todd, number 8, leads number 10, Peter Hickman, as Ian Hutchinson gets away by 1.722. Michael Dunlop, the new third place man, 3.8 back of Hickman, and Dean Harrison just about a second behind Michael Dunlop as Hickey gets away. Let's see what he does here now. Nice and steady. We'll give you the pit stop times that they were in here for. And he's away. Davy Todd's team 33.8, Peter Hickman's team 36.0 as Connor Cummins comes in. Michael Dunlop 36.6, Dean Harrison 38.2, Jamie Coward 40.5, John McGuinness's team 33.1, and James Hillier 32.7. Another great pit stop, but just to reiterate, into the pits, Davy Todd leads by 1.7 seconds.
Yeah, it's a shame. Just interested to see if Jamie can just latch back onto the back of Dean Harrison now for the remaining 2 laps.
Pit stop out leaderboard, and things have just spread out very slightly. Davy Todd did a 33.8. That was the quickest of the pit stops of the front men. He pushes his lead out to 3 seconds over Peter Hickman. Pit stops out. Then Michael Dunlop will be third, 5.3 seconds down on Hickman. Dean Harrison will be in fourth, 2.4 seconds down on Dunlop.
Is that almost the difference in the pit stop time then? What's changed between Michael Dunlop and Dean Harrison? Because them boys had a great pit stop and just took a couple of seconds out of Harrison.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a 33.8 pit stop for Todd. It was a 35.1 for Hickman, a 36.6 for Dunlop, and a 38.2 for Dean. So they were in leaderboard order in terms of speed of the pit stops.
I've got to tell you, this is the first time I've ever been up here and watched a pit stop like that, and it is absolutely unreal. Hillier came in and they were desperate to get into his stop, but Coward tried to set off and he had to jam on the brakes, and you've lost a couple of seconds again, haven't you?
Yeah, I think it's classed as organised chaos when you're looking down at them from up here.
Chris, still action down there?
Certainly is. We've just had Rob Hodgson go out of the pits. He's in provisional 14th at the moment. We've got number 18, Sean Anderson, 25, Nathan Harrison, 19, Phil Crowan, 20, Mike Brown. Now Mike is holding on to that 9th position on the Aprilia, just behind Connor Cummins, who's in 8th. Josh Brooks is 7th, John McGuinness 10th at the moment provisionally, and then it's Dominic Herbertson 11th, Paul Jordan, number 24, he's up to 12th place. Then we've got Nathan Harrison, who said number 25, he drops to 15th, as Mike, and that's the lovely Aprilia away. He's at the bottom of pit lane, 2 machines excellent together, stand by at the top of St Ninians. Sean Anderson in 14th position, number 18, and we got Paul Jordan and Phil Crows, who said, and Rob Hodgson, they round out the top 17. But just to reiterate then, into the pits, but it will all change when we get to Glen Helen, as 24 gets away, Paul Jordan, PJ Lee, your mate, holding on to 12th place.
Yeah, if anybody on here that's listening that hasn't actually seen this on the camera, so all the guys in pit lane are wearing a full set of overalls and a balaclava mask, so you can't actually see who your team members are. So we've seen Nathan Harrison dive in, dive back out again and go to the pit box after. So quite a few of the teams have a little sign or a board or a certain colour. Some of them have got really bright balaclavas on, or it also helps if you've got a rather large mechanic, because they're easier to spot. So yeah, it makes it very difficult to spot your own team.
Have you got a rather large mechanic, Lee?
Well, I can't mention Neil on here, but we're not saying any names.
We're going to pick them up at Glen Helen. We see the leaders on the road. John McGuinness, I think it is. No, it's Dean Harrison now leading on the road. He's into Glen Helen. We'll pick the others up. Let's bring you the lap 1 times. For Davy Todd, it was 16 minutes 58.489, 133.362. For Peter Hickman, 17 minutes 00.211, 133.137. Michael Dunlop, 17:04.046, 132.639 as he grabbed 3rd place back coming into the pits. Dean Harrison, 4th. 132.517, Jamie Coward 131.802, and James Hillier 131.090. Michael Dunlop looks to have clear road in front of him. Davy Todd is obviously coming. We're waiting on Peter Hickman to get to Glen Helen, and then we can get you the leaderboard. We have Todd, Dunlop, Harrison, Hillier and McGuinness all through Glen Helen. It's Hickman we're waiting on, holding on to 2nd place, we think, coming out of the pit stops, but the lead had just gone out. Todd's lead gone up to 3 seconds through the pit stop. So let's get Hickman on the run into Glen Helen. He's the man we're waiting on. Here he is. We see him on the screen now. He pops through Glen Helen and he continues to hold on to 2nd, but it's gone out to 4.7 seconds. Davy Todd on the Milwaukee BMW leads by 4.7 seconds. Glen Helen, lap 2 of this RL360 Superstock TT Race 1. Michael Dunlop is then 3.8 seconds down on Hickman in 3rd. Dean Harrison is 3 seconds exactly down on Dunlop in 4th. Then James Hillier, 7.7 seconds down on Harrison, although we're waiting there on Jamie Coward, who possibly doesn't look like he's made Glen Helen on lap 2. We can't see a time through for Coward, so Hillier maybe moves up to 5th. Then John McGuinness and Ian Hutchinson are the other 2 riders through. Dunlop, though, has clear air in front of him now. He's got clear road. He's cleared the traffic in terms of Hillier and people. He's on that run down through Bagaro.
Yeah, I've just looked over at Tom's face here as we watch the guys go through one of the damp patches there. The commitment from Peter Hickman, running right across it, right out to the white line and really hard on the gas. The bike was moving before it even got to the damp patch.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see the different styles. You know, Davey came to and sat the bike up and sort of relaxed.
So there's a problem then for Coward. We're not going to pick up times for him maybe, so that's going to make things difficult because he's holding on to 5th place, we think. As we now watch Michael Dunlop, I think it is, yeah, coming through Kurt Michael here, looking really racy. He's exiting Kurt Michael as Davey Todd enters Kurt Michael.
Yeah, another person, well, I had an interview with him this morning after his podium finish in the Super Twins yesterday, and he said he'd be happy if he got over that 130 mark was Dom Herbertson, and he's already done a 29.1 and coming into the pits on that. So I think there's going to be quite a few guys in this race that break the 130 mark. Even also Mike Brown there's on a 29.6 coming into the pits. So yeah, he'll definitely be over the 130 mark on the next flying lap, I would imagine.
And that's impressive from a standing start and into the pits as well. You know, it's going to take a lot of time off you. I just having a bit of a chat with Mike Brown's guys on the grid there. They were struggling with fuel surge after the second lap. They've not actually got over that problem yet. They think they have. They've put some more fuel tank foam into the actual tank to try and stop that surge, but they won't know until the 3rd lap, until he's coming in to finish the race.
Timothy Minot caught by the speeders in pit lane. 30-second penalty, 71.35. I'm sure Timothy Minot had a penalty the other day as well.
Yeah, he's going to be getting 3 points and a fine at this rate, and if that's the second, is there a strike rate, or what way does it work out for him? But yeah, so frustrating, the 30-second penalty. He might have gained not even half a second, Tom, in the pits, probably by breaking the speed limit. So yeah, it's a big fine for the crime you commit.
Possibly an invite to the steward's office coming for Timothy, but no, we'll wait and see. Todd then, in fact, Hickman now, I think, arrives at the lap as well, so we can get an updated leaderboard at the lap. It's reduced. It's come down from 4.7 to 2.8. Hickman isn't giving this up at all. 2.8 seconds now. Todd leads by from Hickman. Then Michael Dunlop is only 4.2 seconds away from Hickman in 3rd. Then Dean Harrison 3.6 seconds down on Dunlop in 4th. It's then 9.3 seconds out to Hillier. John McGuinness shows in 6th, and that may well be a true 6th. Actually, we're not seeing anyone coming in from behind that at Glen Helen. He's 6th, 19.6 seconds down on Hillier. 7th shows us Connor Cummins, which is a cracking run for him. He's only 3.9 seconds down on McGuinness at Glen Helen. Then we have Dominic Herbertson showing in 8th. Mike Brown on the Aprilia in 9th. Nathan Harrison is up into the top 10 at Glen Helen on lap 2. And then Paul Jordan is in 11th.
So yeah, this is exactly what we want. Going on to the last lap, hopefully the top 5 are going to be within inside 5 seconds. That means that no one can shut off, no one can relax. These guys are all going to have to, if they want to win this Superstock race today, they're going to have to drop the hammer, and this is what we want, Tom. We want to see some lap times, we want to see some pushing.
Well, yeah, something's gonna go off, isn't it? I mean, Peter's dragged Davey back in sort of where we didn't expect him to. Expect him to do it over the mountain, but he has took some out of Davey. So we'll see what Peter does over the mountain and what he can do back to the grandstand.
Absolutely, he still has that favoured mountain to come. It is the fastest sector of the race that he's just done on the run up from Glen Helen to Ballaugh, and that's coming out of the pit stop. He's done that fastest sector time.
Yeah, and that's impressive because sometimes it just takes you a little bit of time to figure out the bike. Then again with a full tank, obviously they got round the lap. I know it's not as bad when you've only done one lap because the fuel changes. Dean Harrison has just used the full of the road coming through Schoolhouse Corners.
There's no buses running today, Dean. There's no buses running today.
Really impressive. We see Jimmy Coward now possibly going to go up the inside of John McGuinness into Ramsey Hairpin.
Oh, what style from Dunlop. He's drifting it through Milltown. Unbelievable. 2-wheel drift, and now he's coming into Schoolhouse on a mission.
These Superstock bikes are supposed to be standard. Whoa, Dunlop right out to the edge of the bus stop at Schoolhouse. Holy moly, he left nothing there, did he?
This is not doing me any good having to watch this for thinking about coming back next year.
Dunlop then would pick him up on the run out through the bus station, out to the bottom of Mayhill. He cranks it right through the bottom of Mayhill. How far out? Yeah, pushing right out to the edge of the road again. And then on the way as we pick up Hickman next on the run down to School Hill. Let's see what he's like, Tom.
To be honest, he looks a little bit tidier, doesn't he? You know, everything's a bit more in line. Yeah, not using
didn't
quite
even
as
use the
much
bus
road.
stop. Didn't even use it. Stayed in the road.
I don't think he's paid all his road tax. He hasn't just been allowed to use the full of the road on that one.
So maybe this says something about him. Maybe he's got a little bit in hand, a little bit in the pocket, and the other lads are really having to stick their necks out to stick with him.
He knows he's got that mountain section to come as well, and we know how favoured Hickman is. Look, it's we've got a timing. The transponder issue with Jamie Coward is putting him all over the place. But Todd looks to be 2.4 seconds, and it was 2.8 at Balaf. So Hickman's had another 4/10 of a second back there on the run up from Balaf to Ramsey. Todd leads by 2.4 seconds from Hickman. Michael Dunlop then 4.6 down on Hickman. Ramsey lap 2. Dean Harrison 4.8 seconds down on Dunlop. Then James Hillier 10.6 seconds down on Harrison. We are going to have to drop Coward in somewhere here. He's got these transponder issues. I suspect he's somewhere ahead. Well, he's caught John McGuinness on the road and travelling with him, so he must be ahead of that. He's probably right there, nip and tuck with James Hillier for 5th place overall in the race. So Hillier is showing as 5th, then McGuinness in 6th. Ian Hutchinson is also through. Ramsey, but he's a little bit further back on the order. Looking back to Balaf, it's Dominic Herbertson holding on to 8th, Mike Brown 9th, Nathan Harrison 10th, Paul Jordan 11th, Craig Chapek, the next man caught by the speed cops in pit lane, 62.5, a 30-second penalty for him. Where are we, guys? Up over the mountain on lap 2 of this RL360 Superstock TT, as we see Dominic Herbertson just coming through Schoolhouse. We're trying to pick up the leaders. Dominic's using quite a bit of the bus stop there as well.
Yeah, riding confident, isn't he, off the back of that podium yesterday. Great to see that from Don. A lot of lads sort of wrote him off, but he was there, and real tough competition from the other lads, but he managed to get his first ever podium.
News on a couple of retirements. Mikey Evans has retired at Union Mills, and James Hind is out at Greba Bridge.
I've been struggling all week with that Suzuki, James Hind and the boys. Small, low-budget team, but, brilliant showing in that first Supersport race. It just needs to find a few sponsors and try and get a bit of a better package together on the bigger bikes.
Yeah, we've just seen Connor Cummins, and Josh Brooks was latched straight onto the back of him there on the run in through Ramsey. So I don't know really. I was expecting a little bit more off Josh. I don't know. I had sort of had him in the top 4 or 5, or like the outsider of the top 4 that we spoke about all week. But he just seems to be a little bit further back. So I don't know if there's maybe an issue with that BMW or what's going on down there. Oh, yeah.
He's had a fair few things thrown at him this week. Chain snapped, didn't it? He had to headbutt a bird out the way at top of Bray Hill. Maybe he's just a bit rattled, maybe.
Yeah, he's been on the footpath at Kurt Michael
on
the grass at the veranda. Yeah. So yeah, he's using every one of them lives he's
Tom
got.
Robinson, the latest retirement at Quarterbridge. We've just seen Jamie Coward has got past John McGuinness on the road. So Dean Harrison leads on the road. Jamie Coward is now past John McGuinness, so he's 2nd on the road, and we think slots into about 5th on the leaderboard. So now he's got clear road in front of him. We'll just have to keep an eye on that.
Yeah, really good running from Jamie here. We're super impressed with his time that he did in the first Superbike race. Obviously, he was on that Superstock machine as well, doing a 32.6. So yeah, really impressive. Took another step on from what he was doing last year, and really compact little team that he rides for. Good guys in there, super knowledgeable, and on a really good bike. So yeah, he's having a really good year.
It's down again at the Bungalow. The lead, Todd's lead, is down to 2.1 seconds. So it's come down from 2.4 at Ramsey to 2.1 at the Bungalow. Todd on the Milwaukee BMW leaves Hickman's Monster Energy by FHO BMW. Then we've got Michael Dunlop and his own MD Racing Honda, 6.1 seconds down now on Hickman. Then Dean Harrison on the Honda is 4.5 seconds down on Dunlop. James Hillier is 12.3 seconds down on Harrison, but we think Jamie Coward may slot in to that 5th place. John McGuinness and Ian Hutchinson are the other 2 riders on their way from the Bungalow down to us at the end of lap 2.
So it looks like Todd's keeping Hickman at bay, really, doesn't he? He's keeping him honest, because he's stretching the gap to Michael. Peter is, but the gap to Davies is only just come down a fraction over what you would say is Peter's favourite part of the course.
Yeah, it's decent of him to give us a good close run on to the last lap. We don't want to see any big gaps here. We want to see nice close racing. So yeah, probably the opposite to what Davy Todd is thinking right now in his helmet as he sees that gap coming down. But for us as fans here, going on to the last lap with 2 seconds between them, it's anyone's to fight for.
Absolutely. Harrison then is through Crocknamona. He's on his way back to us at the grandstand to head out onto his final lap. Jamie Coward is now there as well. So too John McGuinness. But we're waiting on Todd and Hickman start numbers 8 and 10 to come through. At the bungalow, it was Todd from Hickman from Dunlop Lee.
Yeah, the other frustrating thing for this, I know we're guessing where Jamie is, but obviously the guys doing his pit board, they're going to struggle out there because they rely on the live timing to give him all that information. So, yeah, it's going to be a bit of a frustrating one for them guys out there, just trying to tell him what position he's in as we see Dean Harrison come through.
Harrison away, out onto his third lap. The second lap does include the pit stop. 128.82 for Dean Harrison. Shouldn't be any second now before we get Coward and John McGuinness through. And we'll just keep it. Here comes Coward. And McGuinness. And it's gone out the lead at Crocknamona. Hickman's lead gone out to 3 seconds as Michael Dunlop goes through to start his final lap as well. The lap 2 times for McGuinness 126.904, Dunlop 129.241 as Todd has overhauled Hillier on the road, on the run through Glencrutchery Road. Hillier right with him there. Todd 129.757, Hillier 128.229.
When Todd and Hillier come through there both together, they nearly blew Steve Plate's wig off. Absolutely side by side. Unreal.
Yeah, we might get a bit of a footage of that on the TV screens. Maybe his eyebrows have now gone up a little bit further on his forehead. So yeah, he's down there grafting, just getting the footage for you guys. But yeah, I wonder if Davies actually managed to pull the lead out, even passing James Hillier as well. So he's obviously got past him in a good position and not lost any time there.
Yeah, the lead is 2.5 seconds now. It was 3 seconds at Crocknamona, so he's just Hickman nibbled half a second out of it. Todd leads by 2.5 seconds heading out onto lap 3. Then Michael Dunlop is 7.1 seconds down on Hickman. So as you said, Todd, Tom, they're pulling away slightly from Michael here, these front two.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all got to come out today now, hasn't it? They've got to leave it all down. Todd stands up winning his first ever Isle of Man TT race. 37 3/4 miles stand between that, so he's just got to throw it all at in the kitchen sink at it.
Yeah, I just got a message through there from a fellow mechanic that Josh seemed to lose 1 minute and 30 seconds in the pit stop, so I don't know what went wrong there, if Chris Kinley maybe seen that down there or what actually happened, but we missed it up here and didn't pass any remarks. I don't know if that was a fuel issue or if they maybe tried to do a rear tyre or something and the spindle got stuck. So yeah, that's what me saying earlier on why Josh was a little bit further back than we had first expected.
Yeah. What will the tyres feel like coming onto this third lap? I mean, is there enough in hand for a lap record, do you think, or?
Yeah, I believe so, because they're designed to do 4 laps, you know, so there's definitely the rubber's worth of 4 laps in the tyre. How good it feels is obviously down to the setting, and for some guys, that, like we said, Davey is probably maybe going faster than he had the setting designed for before. Pete's already got the right setting in the bike because he's done a mid 34 already. In qualifying. So yeah, that's sometimes where that little bit of knowledge and setup will pay advantage now when they have to really push on the last lap.
Absolutely. So at the end of lap 2 then, Davey Todd led the race by 2.5 seconds from Peter Hickman, 7.1 seconds back to Dunlop, then 4.3 seconds back from Dunlop to Harrison. James Hillier in 5th. Jamie Coward shows in 6th. Then we had, in fact, yeah, so that's Jamie Coward being slotted in there now by the timekeepers. He shows in 6th. He's 5.6 seconds down on Hillier and 17.4 seconds ahead of John McGuinness. Connor Cummins is then in 8th. 3.9 seconds down on McGuinness, then Dominic Herbertson holding on to 9th, and we're awaiting the arrival of Mike Brown to complete our top 10. Let's see if we can go a little bit further down the list here, because we've got Rob Hodgson then showing in 11th. Nathan Harrison will be around about the top 12th maybe. Then Paul Jordan, then Sean Anderson. Then we will have Philip Crowe and Brian McCormack having a right battle over 15th. Then it'll be Sam West, Amalric Blanc and Ryan Kringle rounding out the top 20. Martha Simpson shows in 21st, Matt Stevenson 22nd, Jamie Kringle 23rd, 24th for Alan Ventnor, then Mikey Russell in 26th, Mark Parrott 27th, rounding out the top 30, Joey Thompson, Eddie Fair and Stephen Parsons.
That's a good effort from Ryan Kringle there. I mean, he had a crash in the Superbike race up at the Waterworks, and I just caught him early on the grid. And he doesn't look well, the lad done. He's I know he's Manx, but no, genuinely, he's been ill and is carrying a strange virus.
Through Glen Helen on the final lap, and we're waiting then on all race leaders, Davy Todd and Peter Hickman, to get there so we can get an idea of the leaderboard. It's 2.5 seconds heading out onto this final lap. Todd, Dunlop, Harrison, Hillier and McGuinness, and we expect Coward is through as well, but again his time not showing, so maybe they were able to slot a full lap time in with the timekeepers here at the grandstand, but we may not now get sector times again out through the final lap.
Yeah, I've just had a message through from my father-in-law. He actually does Jimmy Coward's board, so he says if I can kindly give him the time when he gets to Ramsey, so he's at the Craig. So sorry about that, Craig, but we're none the wiser up here, so we can't really help you out. But yeah, like I said before, it was going to be frustrating for the guys out there doing the boards, because you can't relay the information back to the rider, especially if they're going to be in a close battle. If he's in that battle with possibly, we think, with James Hillier.
Just nibbled a couple more tenths as Peter Hickman. Davy Todd continues to lead at Glen Helen lap 3, but it's now 2.3 seconds. It was 2.5 seconds here at the grandstand, so he's just had 0.2 of a second out, but he's still got the run up over the mountain, the final time to come. So Todd leads Hickman by 2.3. Then Michael Dunlop in third is now 8.4 down, so that gap stretches out again. It was 7.1 here at the grandstand. Then it's 5.1 seconds between Dunlop and Harrison. Then James Hillier, who holds on to fifth, 19 seconds down on Harrison. And we think Jamie Coward will slot in there into sixth, but then John McGuinness shows next on our screen, who will be seventh, with Ian Hutchinson, eighth of the 8 riders through Glen Helen.
Yeah, so we've just had a message through. Obviously, Phil Crow is off with Goodners, but we just said that yeah, his rider's okay. So for any of his team that are down there listening, we've had the information back that he's okay. And we're just watching John McGuinness has caught onto the back of, Michael Dunlop has caught onto the back of John McGuinness at a sort of bad place on the run through Kirkmichael Village. So he's going to have to sit on the back of there, Tom, right till he gets out through the actual town.
Yeah, absolutely, and he can't give anything away because Harrison was 5 seconds behind him at Glen Helen, so he's got to get through McGuinness, and then Jamie Coward is just in front of McGuinness. So yeah, we could see third place in question as well over this lap.
Glen Helen to Glen Helen. Davy Todd 134.4, Peter Hickman 134.7.
He's coming.
He is.
He's on his way.
Absolutely. Is he going to have enough time left to do this? Because Todd is keeping him really honest. He's only getting a couple of tenths back per sector.
Yeah, we don't know where Todd's at. Maybe he's reading his pit boards, maybe he's happy, or maybe he's giving everything he's got. Well, only time's going to tell with this one, but it is definitely going to go down to the wire. We saw Todd hold him off over the mountain last lap, but, you know, was that Hickman just having a run? Can he do more this lap?
Yeah, and this is what we want. We want to see someone putting Pete under the pressure and making him push on that last lap, and hopefully, yeah, get back into the 135 bracket that we know that they're more than capable of doing on these Superstock bikes. So it'll be interesting to see who pushes who and at what position we get. It's pretty much when they get to Ramsey, Tom. You know, if they're within that second or two, it could be anybody's win to have.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's great to see the two Hondas there of Dunlop and Harrison, and the Hillier and McGuinness, and then Connor Cummins, and then with another BMW from Herbertson. Yeah, the two BMWs are so strong as a Superstock package.
The lead is slashed at Malaf. Todd continues to lead, but now by only half a second. It's come down from 2.3 at Glen Helen to just half a second at Malaf on the final lap. Todd leads Harrison. We're going to have a dice over the mountain on the final lap for a TT win. Oh my word, Davy Todd on the Milwaukee BMW chasing his first TT win. Peter Hickman, who is of course the master of the Superstocks, coming right back at him, and they have stretched the gap over Michael Dunlop out to 10.8 seconds. Race on!
I automatically thought about what it would feel like in Davy Todd's helmet if he could hear what Chris has just said there now. Do you know what I mean? If there wasn't enough pressure on, if he had a set of earphones or Race to Shore radio, it would absolutely just put stress on the down to half a second. So Davy, they normally get a pit board here just at the end of Sulby Straight, so I'll be surprised if Davy doesn't have one there, so he will have that information straight away, and if he can retaliate now, we're going to see by the time they get to Ramsey.
Yeah, he's got to react. He can't let Pete have that if momentum. If he has got a pit board there, which I think he has now, because Steve Plater was saying he only had a couple of pit boards, throughout a sector you can really have to push on.
Yeah, and the other thing is if you go from leading from say 4 seconds to getting beat by another sort of 4 seconds the other side, you think, oh, I've lost 8 seconds in a short time, but it might in fact just be the fact that you've got such a big gap between pit boards, so you need to be getting that information straight away basically, and being fit to react as quick as you can.
Big old wheeler there from John McGuinness over the Milltown jump. He's not done yet, is he? He's still having a go, bless him.
He's still giving the fans their value for money, and we've seen a really impressive jump over Ballacry or Ballagary from James Hillier obviously earlier on as well. It was really impressive. We see this group now, and it'd be interesting to see if Jamie Coward can now get latched onto the back of Michael Dunlop for the remainder of this last lap as he just comes into Ramsey.
Yeah, he's lost a little bit of time, Dunlop to Harrison. Look, it's 4-second gap there at Ballaugh Bridge, so them two Hondas behind him now, Coward and McGuinness, did hold him up a little bit. Oh, is this going to bother Davey now as he backs it into Parliament Square?
Through Ramsey, it was Davy Todd with 195 miles an hour, Peter Hickman 194.5, so half a mile an hour advantage to Davy Todd, but he is, as you say, catching this train of riders in front of him. We have the first 4 riders on the road through Ramsey Hairpin. We are waiting on this battle for the lead that is absolutely raging between Davy Todd and Peter Hickman. On lap 1, they did almost identical sector times per lap to Ramsey. On lap 2, it was Hickman who was half a second quicker than Davy Todd, and there is half a second in it in the race, so we're waiting for these sector times to pop up at Ramsey. We have Davy Todd through. There's Hickman. Oh, it's gone out. Todd is quicker. He's pushed the lead back out to 1.1 seconds. He's taken 0.6 of a second out of Hickman on the run up from Ballaugh to Ramsey.
I think he needs that buffer, doesn't he, over the mountain, because Hickman's going to charge now. He's going to throw everything at it. So that's brilliant from Todd if he's just eked a little bit out on Peter.
Yeah, and obviously we've just seen in that shot there, Davy's coming up onto the back of 2 bikes, and he's not going to have a clear run back to the finish line, whereas Pete has got clear road now pretty much the whole way home, we believe. I can't really see him making that gap up to John McGuinness and Jamie Coward.
13 miles to go in the RL360 Superstock TT Race 1. 1.1 seconds in it for the race lead. Davy Todd on the Milwaukee BMW leads. Peter Hickman is coming at him. He's just lost a little bit on that run from Ballaugh to Ramsey, but as Lee's just said, he's got clear road. Todd's got traffic in front of him. 1.1 seconds. They have stretched the gap over Michael Dunlop in third to 12.5 seconds down on Hickman. Then Dean Harrison is 4.4 seconds down on Dunlop. James Hillier 27 seconds down on Harrison. Jamie Coward is showing on the Ramsey leaderboard, 6th place for him. So the pit board's at Craig. He is in 6th place and he is 9.1 seconds down on Hillier. John McGuinness then shows 7th, 11.1 seconds down on Coward. Cummins is 5.7 down on McGuinness in 8th. Then Josh Brooks and Ian Hutchinson, the other 2 men through. But this is a battle, a real battle over the mountain between Davy Todd and Peter Hickman.
Jamie Coward there will be benefiting from that bit of a tow from Michael. It'll be dragging him up the leaderboard a bit there, and he'll be learning and gathering a bit of data. But as we see the pictures of Peter there, absolutely stretching them throttle cables on his BMW.
Yeah, we obviously got information that Jamie's in P6, but we don't quite know how far back from Hillier is he? Will that be, pardon?
9 seconds.
9 seconds. So yeah, I don't think getting that tow off Michael will be enough to you, Tom, to get him to the finish line, unless James really rolls off and Michael's got a big push on.
Yeah, from what we've seen of James, he's riding so well and so committed. So no, I don't think we're going to see Jamie Coward over all Hillier.
Dean Harrison leads on the road into the bungalow. And this is an impressive run by Dean again. Top 4 given the pace of this front end. Dean's really riding well here.
Yeah, he showed awesome pace at the Northwest 200, obviously using that Superstock bike in all the races. So yeah, he's really comfortable on that bike. I don't think he's done a lot of laps on the Superstock bike this week. Did you say 2 laps possibly, Chris, or earlier on? So even all these guys, the top 3 or 4 have only done maximum maybe 4 laps on the Superstock bike. So it's maybe going to start to show for a few of them right now with the information that they've got.
Let's just see where we are then. We've got Todd now. Todd has caught up to that group of Jamie Coward, John McGuinness, and Michael Dunlop's not that far ahead of them, and we wait for Peter Hickman. We see him through the veranda now. Michael Dunlop, he's got James Hillier is ahead of him. Here he is. Todd continues to lead by 1.1 seconds, both of them with traffic to pass potentially.
We're just seeing Hickman there caught Hillier, and he has just lost a little bit of time. He's lost the run there, so that's going to cost him, and that's going to only help Todd.
Yeah, if we can just stay on this shot now of Peter behind James Hillier, and he obviously went to get past there and had to roll out, and he's had to roll out again. So yeah, this is costing Pete quite a lot of time into windy corner. He just gets through on James Hillier now.
Yes.
So yeah,
full braking manoeuvre into windy corner.
Yeah, if this race is down to half a second of a win to Todd, we could pretty much say that would be where it was won and lost for Peter Hickman.
Todd, though, has traffic himself as well, and in fairness to James Hillier, he's in 5th place in the race. So it's not as if it's slow-moving traffic, or he felt the need to maybe let Hickman through in any way.
He will not have known he was there. There's no, obviously, this is not like short circuit racing. There's no blue flags, and with the wind noise in your helmet, Tom, you've got no chance of hearing somebody unless they're pretty much up the inside. But we're just seeing Davy Todd now is on the back of Jamie Coward, so he's obviously got through on John McGuinness already. So we didn't see that. We don't know how much time that's possibly cost Todd, or what this run in now to the finish line is going to cost him in behind Jamie Coward.
We're just doing him on the slipstream down into Brandish. So Todd is past Coward. Coward goes right up to the back wheel. Then the gap goes out a little bit. So Todd has a little bit of road in front of him, but there's a Michael Dunlop, I think, not that far up the road from Coward.
Todd really had to commit there to get through. He knew he had to just throw the back up the inside, and Jamie dealt with that really well. But I don't think that cost him any time, and maybe even got a little bit of slipstream as well, so it could have helped him.
All eyes on the screen looking for Peter Hickman to get to Cronknamona. We have Davy Todd through. We have Michael Dunlop, Dean Harrison, Jamie Coward and John McGuinness all through Cronknamona, all round signposts. We wait then for Hickman to arrive at Cronknamona. It shouldn't be far away. It was 1.1 seconds at the bungalow. What is it going to be? It's through. It's gone out to 2.4. It's gone out to 2.4 as Harrison crosses the line to finish the race. But at Cronknamona, Todd leads by 2.4 seconds. That probably should be enough, Tom.
You would hope so. I mean, Todd took so much time out of Michael Dunlop, of all people, into signpost corner. He's really short circuit breaking into there, backing it in, and trying to sneak every 10th of a second out of this lap now as he comes out onto the start and finish line.
They're nudging out to 1.35 pace. Let's take Davy Todd across the line, where they're going to have to wait for that's Dunlop and Todd cross the line, and so too Jamie Coward. They've all completed their race. Now we wait for Peter Hickman. Is Todd going to claim his first ever TT victory? Hickman is into Governor's Bridge. He's coming out of Governor's Dip. He's on to Glen Crutchley Road. We'll get Hickman across the line. It was 2.4 seconds at Cronknamona. 2.440 seconds. Here he is. He crosses the line. Davy Todd wins his first ever TT on the Milwaukee BMW in the RL360 Superstock TT Race 1. Todd wins by 2.2 seconds from the Monster Energy by FHO Racing BMW of Peter Hickman. Michael Dunlop then 17.7 seconds back on Peter Hickman in third on the MD Racing Honda. They've all stopped at the end of the pit lane. They're having at the end of the return lane rather. Todd and Hickman are having a huge conversation here. And then we'll get down to Chris Kinley as they come in. Let's have a look very quickly at those last lap times. Dean Harrison, 133.835. John McGuinness, 133.037. Davy Todd over 135, 135.092. Michael Dunlop, 133.733, or not 137. Peter Hickman was quickest, 135.14 for Hickman on the final lap. Let's get down to Chris Kinley.
Yeah, Michael Dunlop's come in already in that third position in the RL360 Superstock race. So the gap's at the end. Davy Todd takes that win by 2.2 seconds on number 10, Peter Hickman. Michael Dunlop in third, 17.7 back. Dean Harrison with a good fourth position on the number 3 bike, 3.8 back on there. And here they come. Here's Hickman. And for a first TT win into the winner's enclosure, here comes the Milwaukee BMW of Davy Todd. And there we go, we even got Hector Neal, we've got Philip Neal in here as well for the Milwaukee, the TAS team, or whatever you want to call it, Temple Auto Salvage Racing team, they're all in here. Davey cannot actually believe that. Michael Dunlop knows what that feels like, Peter Hickman knows what that feels like as well. Of red just jumped in the air as Davy Todd was confirmed as the winner. Just don't think he can quite believe it. He's normally quite calm, he's normally calculated, but this is everything that he's been working to since he made his TT debut not that long ago. What, 6 years ago now? Was it 18 or 19? Round about then, however long it was. But Davy Todd now is in his own right a TT winner, and Philip Neal is in there, just putting some words of wisdom in there, and another win for that team, that Northern Irish team. Gives a hug to all the team members, and we'll get in a second and get the immediate words here on Radio TT of our race winner on the Milwaukee BMW. We'll just sneak past him. We'll let him have a moment or two more if he wants. Absolutely. Philip, he's got big smile. He's always got a big smile, but it's even bigger. I don't think Philip Neal can believe it as well when the chaps of Metzler comes in to say well done to him. Gets a tap on the back. The gap at the end, 2.2 seconds, but Hickman was coming. He had it down last lap there. Chris called it in commentary. It's about half a second. It was one of those TT races that we wait for, we pray for, with all the delays and everything, and I just don't think just yet he's just not got that in his head just as of yet. The lid is off, and Peter Hickman's come up now to say well done, and there's a great thing to do. Well done, Pete. That's brilliant stuff. We'll let him take the earplugs out. And he's just gone, oh. Get the Metzler hat on. Well done to you. Davy Todd, number 8, Milwaukee BMW TT winner.
Can you say that again? It's
Davy Todd, dude and a half, daft haircut, crap taste in music, but a TT winner.
Oh man, it's this is a dream. Like it feels unreal. I thought all the way after I crossed the finish line, I knew it was close, and I caught 3 of the guys on the last lap, and I think it was +1 at that stage, and didn't think I'd be able to keep it with that bit of traffic, and oh man, I thought it was over, and
he was coming.
I got to give it up to the whole Milwaukee BMW team. These guys have had the belief in me and put an incredible package underneath me, and I honestly can't find words right now, mate.
That's strange for you. On the last lap, Peter got it down to half a second. That's what it was down to at roundabout Balaf. Half a second.
Yeah, I had a couple of boards with +0, and I knew it was close. I was sort of riding well within myself and just tried to get my head down on that last lap and put some good sectors together, and I can't say anymore. I'm over the moon.
Obviously, we've got another Superstock race to come.
Definitely.
This is your class. This is your bike. This is the one you ride week in, week out, isn't it? So you know it.
That's what we said. The Superstock bike's incredible. I was talking to someone last night and just saying my super bike is actually basically a Superstock bike as well. And I love the BMW M1000RR. The Superstock bike's fantastic, and I feel right at home on it. I love riding it. Every time I get on it, whether it's a BSB Northwest here, things go well, and awesome. I was looking forward to the Superstock race, but yeah, don't have to wait long for race 2, do we?
Certainly don't. Looking back at the race, it was 1.5 at the first split, then it was 1.5, then it was down to half a second, then it was up to 2 seconds, it was up to 2.5, it was back down to 1.5, then it was half. What a race, like a Supersport race.
Yeah, definitely. I know Pete and me are strong in different sectors, so how we work is in the gap goes up and down, judging where each of us are fast, and then all week I've been quick down off the mountain from the bungalow, and I just tried to put that sector together there.
Did the job. Davy Todd, TT winner.
Thanks, mate. Thanks.
Well done, Mucker. Well done, Davy Todd. Give a round of applause round here, folks. All you guys with the earphones in, that's something just a little bit special. Your first TT winner, that big smile is there, and we'll get over, if we can, to Michael. And Michael, just a wee quick word. You know what it feels like to win your first one. Well done to Davy, but well done to you in that third. Just not there today, or just...
Yeah, the bike doesn't have it. I just felt that we're lacking something, obviously, and as I said with the boys before, with the factory support that they have, you know, they're getting better engines and more power at the engines, and I just felt like I struggled there. I caught a couple of boys and I got caught a wee bit of time, but they're running hard, and to be running that fast, I need to be on, you know, the best of the game. We just struggled with a little bit with setup. We have done all week. It's a bike we struggled on for various reasons, but obviously to be that amount of time over a short space of a race, so we need to sort of, I don't know if we can do anything with it. It's we can't really get much more help with bikes and with the engine and stuff, so we just have to just keep plugging along, and hopefully we'll make a change and try and go harder.
Like you said, first on the home head of the factory ones as well.
Yeah, well, it's just, you know, it's obviously it's a bit disappointing. Obviously with these bikes you need to get everything out of them. To get everything out of them you need to be getting the help, and that's the long and the short of it. And so just doesn't, you know, we're obviously not getting the best out of the bike. Well, we're just not getting everything on song, which is a bit of a pity because I feel good. I feel good in my big bike. I've been feeling good in everything. It was just, it's a bike for various reasons we've just sort of struggled this week with.
Suspension?
Yeah, bits of that. Maybe we're not sure was it suspension related or chassis related. It's just smidgens that we're just looking for in this gear when it's so tight at the top. You're looking pinholes, not anything else.
I love the word smidgens. Michael, well done, thank you. Cheers. I'm just going to go and see Davy Todd and say congratulations. Thank you, Michael. Cheers very much, Michael. Thanks and best of luck for the rest of the week. Thank you. We'll get over to Peter Hickman, who's done his TV time, and we'll get him over there. And I don't know if he knows the story of the race. Not Pete, congratulations. I know you won him at the top spot again with the Superstop. But you and Davy, what a show you boys have put on again. Great race.
Yeah, obviously really, really tight. We just didn't quite have enough today. At the end of the day, that's the way it is. We tried really hard. Bike was working pretty good, and yeah, I was trying really hard out there as well. But at the end of the day, just didn't quite have enough for Davy.
Half a second it was at Balaf on the last lap at one point. You got it down to really strange because it's normally from the mountain and the ramps up to the bungalow you get back, but he was holding you off. You were catching more time on that bit.
Yeah, absolutely. That it's been, you know, we've been real strong in different sectors. Obviously, Davy rides that bike weekend in, weekend out, so he's super, super comfortable on it. As I am on mine, but I don't ride it that often. But you know, just congratulations to Davy. You know, first TT win. I know exactly what that feels like, and it's an absolutely unbelievable feeling. So for him to win his first one, he's been fast all week. You know, he was due a win, wasn't he? Let's face it. And yeah, it's great to see. Just a shame for us. Obviously, we're second, but hey, we'll come out fighting again on Friday.
Bit of traffic on the mountain. You caught up a bit for the lads. I mean, they're going hard as well. So
yeah, I caught James. I caught who did I catch first? I caught Hutchie at a really horrible place through Ballacrane, Ballaspur on the run to Ballig. And then I caught Hillier up on the mountain, but you know, the boys are hard to pass because it's not like they're slow. So and you got to be nice and clean when you do it. But I don't know how close it was right at the end. But
2.2 in the end.
Is that what it was? 2.2 in the end. But hey, yeah, we lost a little bit in the pits as well, which is probably my fault more than the team's. I rushed into the box a little bit too much, and yeah, my arm was kind of in the way, so I couldn't get the fuel in and stuff. But hey, it's the way it goes.
Well done, Pete.
Cheers, mate.
Thank you very much. Cheers, guys. Thank you. And Philip Neal. Philip, just your quick thoughts on this live on Radio TT. Another win for you guys, the TAS team, as everybody knows it as, and Hector's here as well, and Davey getting his first win. Many congratulations, you and all the boys.
Yeah, I mean, it's always a dream when you can help a rider to his first ever TT win. We've done it with a couple of guys. It's a long time ago, and obviously my fella, I think everybody knows he hasn't been terribly well of late, so we got him here, and to come here and see a race win, and a race win like that, one of the best races we've probably seen in a while. BMW 1 and 2, Milwaukee BMW at the top step, which is where we wanted it to be. So listen, Davey, I knew he would make a jump from last year to this year in times, but I never dreamt that he would take it to Peter, you know, in this first year with us. Honestly, I didn't. So I'd have been actually reasonably happy to finish a close second there, but we all want to win.
Thank you for your time, Philip.
Thank you.
There you go. So there's the top three in the RL360 Superstock race. Well, then about you, Chris Boyd, to tidy up, we'll get ready for the podium.
Smidgens, said Michael Dunlop. Thank you very much, Chris Kinley. Great interviews down there in the winners' enclosure. Smidgens, indeed, it was. But Davy Todd took 1.3 seconds out of Peter Hickman in the pits. So on the road between them over the 3 laps, there was 9/10 of a second.
Yeah, absolutely nothing. Credit to Davy, obviously his first TT win, and you can probably see it being the first of many. He looks really good out there, and in a good team that has got a lot of TT wins already and stuff like that. But yeah, the big thing out of that interview is obviously Peter Hickman. The first thing he did was congratulate Davy. Didn't complain about the traffic, didn't complain about the pit stop, absolutely nothing. You know, ultimate professional, and yeah, happy. And you can see the respect between all of them. You know, any of the guys that are out there pushing, and definitely pushing at them.
Some laps in, and it's tricky because you qualified so far back, and you can overtake someone anyway here, but you don't want to put hard pass on anyone. There's no need for that. So got to wait until the mountain, you know, getting a bit of a clear section. So that last lap could have been a really good one. It's certainly my best of the week.